desert. Look at how dry wood that is, and how all these candles are just fucking.
It seems like it's a
sprinkled.
perfect role for Rihanna to be.
I remember when I saw this in theaters, I was like, oh shit.
Which one is your favorite out of all these?
I want the monkey.
Honestly,
I
I
like.
think the second one's pretty damn good.
This is which one was this one?
Dead
The
Man's
fourth one?
Chest. This is
Dead
my
Man's
favorite
Chest,
one.
yeah,
The
that's
second
the
one's
best
the
one.
best one.
I liked the one where
Don't
they
say
go
it.
underneath the fucking world.
Is that
That's the third at World's End.
at World's
Yeah.
End? World's
I
End
like
wasn't
that
bad.
World's
World's
End.
End wasn't bad.
The end, I was like, what the fuck?
I didn't
like that
bother.
World's
I didn't
End.
bother seeing the fourth one, and if they made a fifth one, I didn't see that. Either.
I'm
The
pretty sure
fourth
there is a fifth one, I
was
think.
there was a fifth one.
I don't think
there
I've
was.
seen the fifth one.
I saw the fifth one.
You didn't. No one did. The
Fair.
Come
the
on, man.
fourth was a Song of Mermaids. I don't fucking know. It was about, but Selma Hayek was in
Sirens
it.
and shit.
Oh, Selma Hayek.
You know what? I actually have that DVD. I just never watched the fucking thing. I got it on Blockbuster when they went out of business.
Oh, okay. I
Stocked up on
also
shit.
didn't like that one.
Good. So I never
Other
watched
than the
it.
mermaids, I didn't like anything.
What doper feeling was it than knowing that you're going to go to Blockbuster to go and see, like, to pick a movie and you're
And a
standing
candy.
there- Yeah, of course, a candy.
Well, like, I
But,
would-
you're standing there, you're just like, at all of the options.
What are we gonna do tonight?
What are we going to see?
I'd go for video games a lot.
Oh,
you
same.
pick up, you
Yeah, I
get your
forgot
video
about the video
games and shit,
games.
but then you kind of so they were like $5.99, right?
Oh, yeah.
They were like like everything was like kind of like $5.99, $3.99, depending on what.
I think movies were a little less.
It might be $4.
Because games were more. I think
Yeah.
games were like $5.99, maybe $6, like 50 or whatever.
Although
for
back then,
$7.
as a kid, because kid gamers suck, like we're bad at it,
Right.
And you could only rent the games for
For a
like 4
week.
days.
Yeah.
So
So
there's
4
no way
days.
you're
I'm not
beating a
gonna
game
beat
in a
that
week.
game in
Yeah,
a week.
Correct.
God, if it was still around now, you know they would have like an app. Like, you know what? I'm gonna keep it for like another like 2 weeks charge.
Yeah,
and shit like that.
yeah, yeah. But the thing
fucking
is, like, they
streaming.
came out with like GameFly,
Yeah.
which is basically what they
Netflix
tried to be the
for-
Netflix of video games.
That makes more
I've never
sense.
even heard of that.
But then now, like that's where like it was the same as Netflix when Netflix first came out, where they gave you the disc and they
In the
mail it to
mail,
you,
right.
And then you mailed it back
Whenever you were
But
done
the-
with it.
But the difference is that it didn't have the power and strength that Netflix had.
Right.
So as soon as Netflix streaming started, then video game companies were like, let's
Do that.
think about that. Let's think about this here. Let's probably jump to that.
Yeah.
And then now you look at PlayStation, they've got PlayStation Play.
Yeah. all those
like,
stores.
with that streaming thing, because all those games that we played were
Well,
streamed.
streaming, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So another thing is just like it's just so sad that like because walking into Blockbuster
That's so much fun.
Was a great
Was such an
sensation.
experience.
It's
I-
I mean, the same. I mean, it's similar to like walking to Toys R Us, honestly.
Oh,
yeah.
true.
You would have like that big wall of like the new releases, so you know you
new
were
releases.
guaranteed to
And I
get
remember
what you
seeing,
wanted.
Like you remember seeing like 50 copies of like the same movie in each
Yeah.
row. You're like, okay, you're good. Like there's plenty left.
Right.
The shitty part was like when you would go there and there would be none left.
Right.
And then you're fucked, and you're like, fuck, like I want to watch this movie. There's none left.
They're gonna be
and then
talking
you're
about
going back,
school.
and then you're going to the front desk to talk to the guy. Like, did anybody return them just
Return it,
now?
yeah, that's the
like.
be-
Can you please check to see if somebody returned
You check
it?
the return bin for
Yeah,
me?
yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
But the real thing was when you felt like a fugitive because you haven't returned it and it's been 2 weeks overdue and it's just like sitting in your apartment and then you're like we can never go back there.
Oh
It's
my
ours
God,
now.
those are the worst days. And welcome to the show.
And we are live.
We're live.
Episode 36.
Episode 36. Oh man, episode 36, guys.
Wow, we have come along.
We made it. We were just watching Pirates of the Caribbean. If you couldn't tell by the conversation, which one was it? 2?
Dead
That was
Man's
2, but
Chest,
this
yeah,
is
the
now
second
this is at
one.
World's End, I believe.
I
right?
think this is the third one, so we can
Yeah,
immediately stop paying
Freeform
attention
seems to be
this.
doing some kind of little mini marathon here.
Pirates of the Caribbean at one point felt like that Mean Girls quote, like, stop trying to make it happen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but it's not. It did happen.
It happened.
was
Yeah,
popular at
no,
one
but
point.
then they still try to keep going even when it was dead and rotting.
correct.
Man, they do
yes.
that with a lot of
Like the
lot of
fourth
shit.
one was bad. Everyone was just like, all right, now it's time to stop. And then Disney's like, we hear what you're saying, but the answer is no. We're going to make a fifth.
the fact that they made 5 is insane.
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know.
Like that's crazy. I mean, because it's not like this is like fucking Terminator where there's like 7
Right.
of them now at this point. There's also more Mission Impossibles that
There's
I
a
thought there were.
lot of missions. I think
There's like 6 Mission Impossibles.
honestly
6 or 7 of them.
I've not seen anything since the second one.
But
I've never seen a single
I
Mission
did
Impossible.
I did some research and I noticed that they've gotten better
They have.
Rotten Tomato scores wise. So like the first one got like an 80 something. The second one got like a 60 something.
Yeah.
And then from 3 on, something happened where all of a sudden they just figured it out.
They figured
got
out
their
they got
maybe,
their
maybe
formula.
not 3, maybe not 3. I think 3 was bad too. But 4 on.
They got
so
their formula,
4,
yeah.
5, and 6, and the most recent one I think was 6. Mission Impossible Fallout.
Okay.
All were in the 90s. 93, 95. Fallout got a 97.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
And they're really fucking good.
Perhaps I'll
It's
give it
kind of like the
a
same
shot.
thing that happened with the Fast and the Furious movies.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what actually when you were saying it, that's what I was thinking. How Fast
Like
and Furious.
how
figured
Fast and
out
Furious
their
just had a
formula.
resurgence after
Right.
3 bombed.
No, 4 bombed.
No, 3
Fast
bombed.
and Furious was bad. 3 was Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
Tokyo
That
Drift,
was-
I think, did okay in
Wait,
the box.
4 bombed, really?
4
bombs?
critically it did bad.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Fast and Furious.
I
I mean,
enjoyed the film.
I don't think that the movies. I think we're talking. I
But
think this is different.
all I know is that 5, when Fast 5 came out, the Brazil one, that just revived new life into the franchise. That
Right.
was the bank heist one where they were trying
because
to steal
people,
the ball.
the fans liked it.
Yeah, because
Because they
found,
brought back the original.
They brought back the original, but
Yeah.
they kept the car thing, but they eliminated the race
Right.
shit.
Yes,
Because they're like,
yes,
guys,
yes.
we can't make racing
exactly.
cool
No one
anymore.
cares about street racing
but they
anymore.
kept it really cool with the cars,
Yeah.
explosions,
Still,
action.
it's still all there.
Like,
It's
yeah.
such an empty movie that's so much fun.
Yes, they're hilarious.
Like Good Boys.
Yeah, like Good Boys. I guess that's a good segue to get
great
into,
segue.
get into
Thank you.
the
I saw it. I took it. I shot. I was like, let's segue this in, and I just saw
swoosh,
it.
Gav, swoosh.
Thank
Well
you.
done. Well done.
Make it rain.
So we saw a bunch of movies.
A few.
A few.
Yeah, we got a couple. Yeah.
Let's dive into the first one. We saw The Good Boys.
Good Boys. Yep.
That's that movie. I think that Seth Rogen produced.
Yeah.
He did produce it. Yeah.
I mean, it has Seth Rogen written all over it.
Absolutely.
It does.
While you're
It-
watching it, you're like,
It
Jesus
has
Christ,
it really has super bad written.
Yeah,
also.
And that's exactly my comparison. It's like it's a super bad with children, and I loved every fucking
holy
second of it.
shit, dude! What a fucking funny movie.
Yeah, hilarious.
From the first scene, I think Gab missed this because Gab was getting food like a dope.
No, because AMC it takes 5 years to make Triscuit-sized burgers.
You should
Why
have got
would
them
you
delivered
order-
to the
Why
seat.
would you order burgers?
I was hungry.
When you're
I was hungry.
when the movie's starting.
I
should've-
thought
why
they
wasn't
would
it-
pick up the pace, and this guy was like holding my food and talking to his colleague while I'm standing there. Like, can you just give me the fucking burgers?
You got to do the order delivered to the seat.
Yeah, I know, but he was already we weren't like he should have done it while we were walking.
Yeah. Oh.
So the first scene is like when the kids are like talking and like the one kid's like I guess talking about ejaculating. And like
Coom.
and he's like, "Oh yeah, I think it's called coom." And like they're making fun of like
Yeah.
that and just the fact that they use the coom. As instead of cum. I'm dying. Like I was dying laughing. It was hysterical. So like right off the bat I'm going like, "Okay, this is the kind of movie that this is going to be. Awesome. Let's go. Let's keep it going."
Sign me up.
And holy shit, like as soon as you're 5-10 minutes into it and you're like, this is hysterical. These are just like these 3 little like 6-year-old kids, 6th grade kids that talk like they're adults. That they talk like how we talk.
Yeah, but I honestly think I guess that's how it is now. I
That's-
guess they talk like
But the thing is, I don't think that's just now. Like, I remember
how we
you
talk.
fools
Yeah,
when
for
you were in
sure.
6th grade, like just
you
foul-mouthed
You
as fuck.
think you're so fucking cool.
You think
because
you're old.
Yeah.
And
I
that's
thought
something
we
that
were
was
grown
part,
and
that was
shit.
like a constant joke in it too, where they were like, and this is the thing. This brought me back to childhood, where you pretend to know what words mean.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like nymphomaniac, it means you like to have sex on land and in
And
water.
Yeah,
Like
that was
just
good.
those
That was
kind
a
of
good
jokes where they're so confident they know
Yes.
Like
what
yeah.
it means.
They're
like,
so
it's like,
cocky in what they think, but they're so wrong.
Wrong, right.
And that's what
I'm not a feminist.
it was such a perfect way of showing that that confidence that you have when you're that age, but just being utterly wrong.
Just fucking
And
so
that's
off.
what makes it so much funnier for us, like as adults watching it. Like
Yeah.
you feel yourself in those shoes. You feel
Yeah,
yourself.
absolutely.
Like, I'm watching the things that they're saying, and I'm just like, holy shit! Like I remember that. I'm
Right.
32 years old, but like I remember doing that.
Yeah, I remember-
thinking
yeah.
that, feeling that.
It's also an interesting aspect in how it really is. I think parents, and even as we get older, our minds get foggy remembering it, and we think it's like 14, 15.
Yeah.
But you really discover like what sex is at like 10, 11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you're still very much a child,
Right.
So it's like this weird, funny time when you're learning what it is.
Yeah,
and like,
you're figuring out what the fuck it is. You're figuring out why am I getting these boners all of a sudden?
I think I figured it
like,
out by watching MTV around that age. You know, back when they used to play videos, like actual videos.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
and like George Michael had like a song, and
Yes.
the video's kind of like, oh, they're doing
yeah.
things.
I mean, for me, it's just I'm watching like fucking MTV Spring Break at the time. This is like early 2000s.
Yeah. Good call there.
So I'm thinking like at the time MTV Spring Break was like big.
Yeah.
Where like they would constantly have concerts and shit of these college kids in like Panama City, fucking
Exactly.
Florida, and like you're just like sitting there like as a kid, and you know you're in 6th grade, 7th grade, you're like holy shit, like tits,
Yeah, boobs,
tits on the
bikinis,
beach,
crazy.
fire. You know what I mean? Like, so
yeah, I'm not a part of that crew.
you're experiencing, and you're watching.
I was like, they're
this,
having such a good time.
and like you're just watching this, like you're learning, like you're just starting to realize, like, oh shit, like
Although
That's
our,
hot. I
our
like
experience
this.
was
I like this.
I like
our,
this.
our experience was different just because, like, for that scene where they're like searching porb,
yeah,
Porb.
yeah.
and they watched like their first porn clip. I'm like, oh yeah, they have the internet now.
Yeah, that's
we
much
didn't
different.
we didn't
We
have
had-
it
we
that.
had-
because we had shitty dial-up.
Well, I'm gonna say that we had scrambled like
Oh, yeah,
spice
yeah,
net
correct,
or
yeah.
whatever.
when
the
it,
fuck
and
it
like
was.
you'd randomly like when
Yes.
the image for like 5 seconds
see
you
a
get a
boob
full
for 5
nipple.
seconds. Yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh, there it is.
my god. Yeah, there would
Spice
be
Channel,
nice.
man, I
There would be
Spice Channel's
nice.
dope.
There would be
Yeah,
nice where I
dope.
would sit there.
There was a good story.
And watch the scramble
Just
for like 30
hoping
minutes to an
God.
hour.
God.
Just like, okay, all right, here we go, baby.
I just
It's like,
I
it's,
just-
like
watch the
it's
scramble.
basically like that scene in American Pie.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
the beginning scene was.
Although I have to say, I really liked how the clip that they were watching, how terrible the acting was. Because I'm sorry, acting on Spice Channel was superb.
Yeah,
I
mean,
believed.
Old porn, like they were actors.
old porn was better. Old porn
Old
was
porn was
better.
better. They were
Yes.
much better actors.
Yes.
Now it's just like, hey, I got this for you.
It's basically like a Zack and Miri.
Yeah, yeah. Zack and Miri
Yeah.
like a porno. Yeah, yeah.
It's so bad.
I'm gonna
Ooh,
fuck you with my dick or penis.
yeah, it's fucking vulgar.
Oh, and also,
I got this cream for you.
I have to ask, out of the three lead kids, favorites, who was your favorite of the three?
the black kid. What's
Lucas,
his name?
Yeah.
Lucas.
Keith L. Williams. Yeah.
Every
Lucas was
single time-
pretty solid.
Every single time that
Yeah.
he fucking
Opened his mouth.
screamed
Oh, the
with
screen.
like the high pitched scream, I was just dying laughing.
Just like this, he basically like just every situation that kind of went wrong, he had a part of it. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
like when
yeah.
they're in like the convenience store and shit. and,
Correct.
like, it's like we have drugs.
Why are you saying this?
The cop literally just told you he wants to go home.
Wait, we'll buy the drugs. The hell we are.
He was absolutely hysterical.
I love. What was the thing? It's like what do you love? Grilled cheese.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh man, the scene when he finds out they're getting a divorce.
Oh my god.
Fucking, I was
so
dying laughing.
Oh,
sad.
I'm walking on sunshine.
When they're singing the song in choir and he's got the tears going down his face.
Like, so that song makes me really sad.
Yeah, holy fuck.
Yeah.
What a hilarious movie, man.
One part that I actually like, I kind of like really like got like a nostalgic feeling
Yeah.
at is like when they're in the woods. He's like, let's sip a beer.
Yeah.
I vividly remember a time at. I'm not gonna put any parents on blast.
right,
so
right.
at a friend's house, we used to have ragers during the summer where one of our friends snuck a beer. So we went behind these bushes.
Right.
And like literally, it was like 18 guys like taking a sip, like, I'm fucking drunk, man.
The best is when they're doing the sips
And
and
they're
the
like,
one
"I
kid's
feel
like,
it already."
Dude, I feel it already. Dude.
And it's like, oh, sit, yeah.
I thought at first they were gonna make a joke that the beer wasn't really beer, that it was
Like-
O'Doul's.
like an O'Doul's or
because
something.
it looked like an O'Doul's.
It did,
So
yeah.
I thought like later in the movie when the kid had like stole the bottle, I thought it was gonna be like a funny joke that like the kids were gonna be, like look at it and be like, wait a minute, and they look at it and like, this isn't beer, but like
I hate it's like careful, it's hot. I'm like, ew, what do you mean it's hot?
Yeah.
Where's it been?
it's so gross. But
What
hilarious.
it's a all right. I'm not trying to be a downer. It's just if I
Here comes the
compare
usual gap.
if I compare this to Superbad, I still pick Superbad.
Yeah, no, I
Because
agree.
Superbad to me
Yeah.
it feels like a staple of classic
Right.
There's still like kind of wears a badge of classic.
Correct.
I don't know why this one just doesn't feel classic.
But you also watched Superbad at a different period of time in your life.
Right, and I guess
So it's like
longevity
this-
will tell you
this,
what.
Like this movie could be a classic for kids that are watching
Right.
this movie in high school
We-
right now.
yeah,
Oh,
we
you're
saw-
right.
we
No,
saw
yeah, I didn't see it that
Superbad,
way. You're right. We
like,
saw it when
Yeah,
we were
we
in
saw
high school.
Superbad like
We
right
right.
after high school, and it's
Correct.
like I relate to this.
We are
this literally is
yeah,
like this site. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, it was
First of all,
after
these
for
are
you.
high school kids. Superbad
Right.
is high school kids.
Right.
We watched the movie around high school.
No, you're right. You're right.
So
you're
we
right.
were molded to this. We are so attached to it because of how much we related to it.
Exactly.
These
I'm
kids are in
32
sixth
years
grade?
old watching a kid in 6th grade. It's making me laugh and it's hysterical to me.
Right.
But it's not going to be as good as Superbad because Superbad was when I was
A
in that
kid,
era.
Right.
right? Okay, no, I agree.
Um,
Okay, I agree. So then I think teenagers would watch this now, even if they're in 9th, 10th grade. They think 6th grade was so long
Exactly.
ago, but
Yes.
it's literally 3 years
Years
ago.
ago,
of
and they would
course.
definitely relate
Yeah.
to shit.
They'll
like,
relate to a lot of
100%.
shit
Yes.
going on there. Yeah, for sure. The anal bead necklace.
Oh my God! And every time
They're anal.
No, when the girl goes to put it on and she's like,
And she's
starts
like, I'll wear
gagging.
this later.
Bro, I was totally like, why aren't y'all
When-
washing them? Like, if they
So
smell like shit.
Like, there's just so many like little things
It's
in
just-
that movie. Like
The sex doll.
the sex doll. Yes.
Yeah.
When they first find it, and like it's like they're like getting permission to kiss it, and then when the fucking creepy dude comes over to
Yeah,
buy the
yeah,
card,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, oh man.
Was like, do I look like a pedophile to you? Yes,
Yes,
you look like the
you
definition of a
exactly-
pedophile.
Which he really does because he's got the shitty goatee. And
Yeah.
No, it was the haircut. It was that
And the
perfect
haircut.
line across the forehead.
the Caesar cut.
It was like, he bought it for 500. I would have paid 1,000.
Jesus.
Oh, actually, when I realized like the movies could take a any
dark twist.
dark turn was when he kissed the dog. I was like, oh, it's sticky, and why is there hair?
Hair,
in it?
yeah.
I was like,
when he's like, ew,
this-
it's
Oh,
sticky.
yeah.
This
Oh,
is
yeah.
really that.
They're really going that far.
It's weird watching the kid from Room.
That's
Was a
where
kid
the
from
fuck
Room.
he's from, mother.
Oh, you guys didn't know? Yeah.
he's from Room.
Oh, I wish I like put that in your heads before
also,
you saw
why
it.
hasn't he grown more?
Yeah, I don't know.
Room was a while ago.
There wasn't a lot of
might need
vitamin
those
D and
hormones,
sun
right?
in there. I
He
don't
should
know.
be way older.
Room.
Wow.
I feel like.
Well, no, he did Room when he was really young.
He's like 5 years old when he did
I
it.
think he was like 5 or 6 when he did Room.
I mean, I don't know, man, because he still looks like a really young kid. In
I
this
mean,
movie.
but
Nah,
to
but he's
be
got mad
fair,
swag,
so
bro.
does
He's
the
got mad
kid who played Thor.
Yeah.
Both of them looked really small. The girl who played his crush, the guy, like all those kids. Like, but actually, that's also very representative because 5th, 6th grade, and even 7th
Yeah.
is that time where everyone's entering puberty at a different time.
Right.
So,
So
some
everyone-
of y'all
yeah.
look like teenagers. Some
Yeah.
just it was like, hey, yeah, I know you're from Econ. What's up?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the whole drug buying scene.
The drug buying
was
scene,
easily the funniest fucking part
The
of the
drug
film.
buying scene was probably the best part of
laughing.
the movie.
Yeah.
The guy on the stairs
Staircase.
with his
He's just getting
body
shot by
movements
the
getting
paintballs.
shot. I could. No, that's a rewatchable movie.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
sure.
I agree.
yeah.
I agree.
It has a lot of
definitely-
rewatchability factor.
Definitely gonna watch
The,
it multiple times.
Did you like the ending where like they're watching Thor and was it Rock of Ages?
Yeah.
And like he's like blowing lines and like
Yeah.
I'm like this is fucking
hilarious.
over the top. It's hilarious because you see
So
like the
good.
parents' reaction like what the fuck?
And the director's like so into it, like, this is my masterpiece.
And he does a-
the director's the one that's like doing the bumps.
Yeah.
I also like at the. It's weird because it's one of those things that's like right in your face, but until like the movie tells you, you're like, oh yeah, of course. Like they actually are 3 completely different kinds of
People, yeah.
people.
Yeah.
And that like as they get older, it is kind of clear that as they all like enter puberty, as they all start liking girls, like, as they all grow up, they're probably not going to be that close.
Right.
Because Lucas, like even when like he says like I'm safe, like I don't feel safe, and the barricade comes around them so they can
Oh,
get into
yeah,
school.
yeah.
He's
The,
like smiling and waving at
waving,
everyone.
The scab.
Scab.
He's
yeah.
a scab kid. He was
Yeah.
always
He
a
was
scab
destined
kid.
to be a
but
scab
I just
kid.
didn't get it. Thor's the musical kid, and then I guess what's his name? Max is a.
He's the cool kid, man.
He's
He's
just
a
a cool
popular
kid who
guy.
wants to bone a lot of chicks.
I mean, he's just a kid that like he hit that part of puberty before them. Like,
Right.
And he just wants to have a girlfriend, and really love that he had 3 girlfriends in a month.
Yeah, and
'Cause
that
that's
whole
6th grade.
sequence. Yeah,
Because that in itself is so realistic.
absolutely.
Because as a kid, that's how it is. Like, oh my god, we're boyfriend and girlfriend, but then like 2 weeks later, never mind, we're not.
Yeah,
And that's normal.
Yeah.
But like the best part is like he got with the girl, and then like the next scene when they break up, he's crying.
yeah, he's
And
emotional as fuck.
It's just so funny because it's like 2 weeks.
It's just such a good every moment. There's so much to laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
kid, the kid that played Soren, like the popular kid.
Yeah, the little Asian kid.
Yeah.
That kid dripped
Yeah, and
like swagger.
Yeah,
Like I want that
so
kid.
swaggy.
I want that kid every major film
Yeah,
from now
yeah,
on.
yeah.
My mouth
Super
actually
swaggy.
dropped like it was some like giant life revelation reveal that one of the girls that was chasing him was his older sister.
Sister?
Like
Oh,
when they
yeah,
walked
yeah,
into
yeah.
the house high on Molly, like my world was shaking. I was like, what?
Yeah.
She's the older sister?
I thought that at that point when they were on the couch that like the two girls were gonna kiss the
To give them
Yeah,
their
to
kiss.
to give
yeah.
them their first kiss because like the one friend was getting his first kiss.
Even on the cheek or something. I
Yeah.
thought they
Yeah,
were at
just
least gonna do
something like that.
But nah, man, fuck, it was so good.
It was so good.
There's just so many moments that we could quote. I mean, there's so many moments that we could say.
I'm sorry, trilogy. I need 2 more of these. I need because this is where my point is. Superbad, complete story. Bridesmaids, complete story. Mean Girls, complete story. There are some comments like that's a complete story. I feel like you could do more with these kids. I know that the end concluded like they're all like going their separate ways. Like we're all gonna be together for the big stuff. Fuck that. Make more. I don't know what the box office numbers are.
I think what helps it is that they're so young.
Exactly. So
Because-
they're,
Yeah,
exactly.
they
You
actually
could tell a
look
few
the age.
tales at this
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
I want to see 9th grade, like starting high school, the tears
And
of
then,
being
like,
in
maybe
freshman,
seniors or-
and then
or
and
yeah.
give me them as seniors.
Going to college.
Going
Yeah.
to college.
Going end of senior year. Going
I
to
know the
college.
plot's the same as Superbad, but at that point, it's gonna be 20 years. It could be its own thing.
Exactly. It's
Right,
almost a
right,
remake
right.
anyway.
But I want to
Remake
see them
time
as
anyway.
the freshman, like the freshman fear.
Yeah.
And then I want to see the graduating high school.
Because
thing.
like by the end, you're right. It's the freshman fear is maybe something else.
Yeah, it's definitely different.
But like then by the third movie, if they were like let's say hypothetically they do 3 movies and the last one is like a super bad type of movie where they're picking colleges.
Yes.
But it's really the plot is one of them wants to fuck for the first time.
Ooh.
Because that's the same thing that's happening with in Superbad.
Yeah.
Where Michael Cera's character is trying to get with this chick, and both of them I think are virgins, and they're trying to,
So?
or maybe like they've gotten hand jobs or like a blow job before.
I think.
I just like just to add some color to the conversation. So Good Boys actually came in with 72.5 million at the box office,
Right.
And to become it landed the number 1 spot at its opening weekend. I don't know what it was competing against. But most importantly, it becomes the second original film to top the box office this year. So, and we are in the age of franchises, and that
True.
theaters,
True.
especially when Disney Plus creates the apocalypse,
Right.
theaters like
They're gonna need
will
some
not
Because
get
it's on the
redeemed.
way. It's on the way.
It's on the way, and I think that's because even for us, like to go see an original movie,
Yeah.
that's kind of a old concept,
Right.
And this movie from the trailer, I was like, I actually do want to go physically sit in a seat and see that movie.
Right.
So I don't know. I think they could have a franchise. If we're talking about jumping into the franchise wagon, if they
It could
wanted
work.
to do that, I think
could
they
work.
could. I think there's a space
What
for it.
what's your scores?
My score for Good Boys is 4.5 out of 5.
I agree. 4.5. It gave me literally everything that I would want in a comedy movie.
It is just shy of perfect.
Yeah.
I think, yeah,
Just shy of
4.5. I
Just
think
shy
we're
of
all in
perfect.
agreement on that one. For sure.
Yeah.
If I need a good time, I know I can turn that on and have a laugh.
Yeah,
it's-
exactly. And if that's gonna be
and a major point for me in movies, like that something that'll change my grade an entire point sometimes is if I'm gonna be able to watch it.
Long-
rewatch
yeah,
it.
the
Well,
longevity of it.
that's my rule. Like that's a very
Yeah.
big thing for me. If you can get over 3 points, is
Right.
if there's if it has rewatchability factor.
Yeah, of course.
And so it definitely.
I can definitely see, like, even if it's on like TV.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like it's like
It's the same thing-
I'll probably be able to watch, like, throw that on a Sunday. Like, yeah, fucking, I'll watch
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with if you listen to music. It's like
Yeah.
if you listen to an album, if you think I can re-listen to this album, then you're gonna give it a good score. You're gonna say it's a good album.
Exactly.
And since we were talking before about original movies, let's have Gab discuss Brittany Runs A Marathon because I know that he's friends with the girl who this movie is about. And this is a story about her. So Gab, I'll let you take the lead here.
Well, yeah, because you guys didn't see it. Obviously, I guess.
Well,
yes.
I mean, it does also makes it difficult that it's not in many theaters now.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
only.
I was trying to see it. Yeah.
It's
So,
in
like-
New York and LA. So I was in the city, and I found because of the AMC Stubs thing.
Yeah.
There's an AMC.
Thank
in
you,
Midtown.
AMC, for this.
Yes, thank you very much because I saw 3 movies this weekend. It was all for
Sponsor
the
us
price
at
of
some point.
free.
Sponsor us.
Actually, yes, please. AMC will talk a lot of
Yeah.
good stuff about you.
At least in rewards. $5.
I'm not asking
me
for a
a
full
4
salary. Just
I
maybe
actually,
$100.
you know, the other day when you told me about the $5 reward things, I had not realized that I had about 7 of
I
them.
was gonna say, yeah, like-
he sounded like a commercial at the movie theater. He's like, "Whoa, check this out! Look at all these rewards that I can
I
get."
was literally pointing at Stacey and I was going like, "Holy shit! I have like 7 of these rewards. I can get a bunch of shit and it's free."
And I'm
It was
like,
not-
I'm about to
and
pay
not
fucking
only-
$8 for 2
Yeah,
Triscuits.
and not only is that fun in itself.
Yeah.
This is another perk for them. Another plug for them. If you use one of those rewards,
Yeah.
they'll upgrade your. You get regular size popcorn. Nah, fuck that, man. We're gonna give you the super
Wow.
tub for the same price.
Wow.
On the house.
Very nice. Very nice. Anyway, continue,
AMC
Gab.
Stubs, do it.
AMC, I love you so much. I have a poster for coming to my room. It's really great, AMC. Love you so much.
Next week, we're just gonna change the name of the fucking podcast. The AMC presents.
I know AMC presents like it's like, well, who are you guys? So I had a chance to watch Brittany Runs a Marathon. You're right. I think it's limited theaters, New York and Los Angeles. As Ramel exposed, yes, I personally know Brittany from the film. So I guess you could say my opinion is going to be a little biased on it. It just is. Like,
Well, I mean, it's not really an exposure. It's just like we have a connection to it. This is why this is a movie that we want to discuss because of this. Something that, I mean, this isn't a blockbuster movie. Is why I'm saying this.
right
Because
It's
this
an-
isn't a blockbuster movie that like normally we're
Right.
not going to talk about not like super like.
Now that I have the AMC wink Stubs pass, I'm actually going to really take the chance to see a lot of movies that I might not have had the chance to
Correct,
see
correct.
unless I
I'm-
had the
I know I'm
AMC
kind of
Stubs
in that
pass.
same
Especially
boat.
since AMC just created this new indie film.
And you know what? There are
Tag them in this shit.
and there's a lot of AMCs that are showing a lot of indie projects that you might not get the chance to see. So
There's
why
so
not
many
grab?
there's so many
I think it's just a really good
convenient
idea to get on your phone, download the AMC app, and then
honestly, for
become an AM.
$25 a month, that's nothing.
It pays for itself.
I mean, think about it. If you're paying $22 for one screening, if you have the AMC Stubs pass, you can watch 3 movies a week for less than the price. It's totally worth the bar.
No more plugging them until they pay us.
Yeah. So AMC.
So you're saying you
So
you
yeah,
know
I had a
Brittany,
chance to
huh?
watch Brittany Runs a
Brittany.
Marathon, so my opinion's gonna be a little biased. In all fairness, like when I went to sit down the movie, like as it was about to start, I was like, "Ooh, what if I don't like this movie? How am I gonna?"
Right.
But it turns out, love the movie. If you haven't seen it,
First of all, what is it about, Gab? Because
well, it's about Brittany
Yeah.
running a marathon. That's so very to
who
the
is
point.
Brittany? What is she doing? Why is she running a marathon?
So in the movie, Brittany goes to a doctor. She wants to get Adderall because, like, why not? Like,
Right.
let's get some Adderall.
It's 2019.
It's 2019, and the doctor's like, actually, your BMI is. Sorry, I'm burping. BMI is an unhealthy range. Like, I want you to lose like 45 pounds.
Right.
And she's like, what? So then, through like the beginning of the movie, like she's dancing with the idea until
Right.
she finally gets like the courage to run 1 block. She commits like, let me just run 1 block.
Right.
And then from there, she starts like to pick it up. She meets other runners. She makes like friends, and she starts to commit to this new element to her lifestyle, to not just to lose the weight, to get healthy. But here's the thing about the movie is that, and I've seen some reviews, and they've been like, it's fat phobic. It's saying like you have to be like skinny or something to be like you're missing the
To be like a runner, I guess. Or
just
or
you have to be
a-
skinny to be worthy.
Right.
And I'm like,
Okay.
you're missing the entire point of the
film.
fucking movie. There in the review, which I'll probably click. It's done. I just have to post it on the website. It's so
Right.
long because the movie touches on so many social things that I don't think we are really engaging.
Right.
Perhaps we are too scared to talk about because it would burst the bubble of the social media craze. So for me, first and foremost, like just that, like her wanting to run 1 block. And for me, it was like, that's beyond the conversation of running. It's her. There's this moment where she's like hesitating at the door of her apartment building. Like she's scared to go out and run. Like to go because she doesn't
yeah.
look like a runner or whatever her
yeah,
stuff
okay.
is.
Right.
Like,
Fair.
and she commits to 1 block, and it just gets me to the thing of it's achievable, small achievable goals.
Right.
the movie highlights on depression. It highlights on self-esteem issues. She says things like, I feel like everyone's life is going somewhere and mine's just stuck. People are getting married. People are having cute babies. Their careers are growing. And I'm just kind of like here. That is the most relatable thing in the age of Instagram and all this bullshit.
Yeah.
But I think people don't want to, maybe are too afraid to talk about it or don't want to talk about it because I think on some level we all want to be the super liked Instagrammer.
Right. Yeah, of course. That's the thing about this, the era that we're in now. It's everyone wants to be an influencer.
Yeah, everyone wants to be an
influencer.
man.
That's
They want
what
that social media clout.
Influencer has completely changed to society to the point where that's what everybody wants and strives to be.
I had no idea what the fuck that word was until a couple months ago when I saw that the
Fire
fire.
Festival?
Yeah,
Same. I was like, what the fuck is an influencer?
Right.
And I was like, what mental illness is this word? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So, and her roommate is like, it's funny because her roommate is actually trying to be an influencer.
Right.
Okay.
So the roommate's presented as like the friend who is trying to and this is a very real thing, trying to force Brittany to be her fat sidekick. Okay. Like it's always about her. She's the protagonist. If I have a problem, that takes precedent over whatever Brittany's going through. She's not really a friend to her. And she's very much like just this insecure person who just wants everything to be about her. Right. She wants to be the protagonist of reality. But aside from that, she's actually like a juxtaposition to Brittany in the film because Brittany's in the movie, and again, back to her hesitating at the door to go for the run.
Yeah.
Brittany's in the movie's actually doing the real work, and then her friend's doing the instant gratification bullshit.
Right.
I'm insecure, so let me post an Insta story. I feel insecure or unworthy, so let me post a post. Let me do these shallow, vapid things that don't actually matter, so I feel an instant like heroin shot of I'm worthy, but then not do anything that's going to actually make me feel that way.
God, that's so. Jesus,
and then Brittany in the film is doing like the hard shit, and people get like, she's just running and losing weight and running a marathon. No, she's changing her life and trying to change how she talks about herself and what she allows in her life and what her worth is, and she's figuring it out. Right. I think what I appreciate most about the movie, spoiler, is that she actually doesn't run the marathon the first time that she intends to do it. That was my phone. Right. She doesn't run the marathon the first time she intends to do it. There's this moment in the movie where I know that we're getting to the end, and she's getting close to the date of the marathon, and in my chair I'm actually going like,
she's not going to do it.
Don't run it. Please don't run it. I need you not to run it. I need something to happen that you don't run it, because that's, I think, also a social media movie television trap. I decide to change my life. I do it and I succeed on the first try. Yeah.
Yeah. It's too. Right.
And that's not how it works.
It's almost too perfect.
Yeah. Right. Life is a character. It's always a character, and it's always trying to fuck us. Right. Life is always having a cigarette outside in the dirty parking lot, coming back and throwing a fucking baseball in our face. That's what life 100%. Does. So there is a moment where, do I want to call it self-sabotage? I kind of do, just because I think anyone, when they're in their pursuit of growth or a goal, depending on where their self-worth or self-esteem is, will consciously or subconsciously sabotage themselves to not obtain it when literally the end is right there.
It's right there. Yeah. Right.
I've seen it. I've done it. I've done it a million times, and like, and I see her, and she does it. She does it in the movie. She kind of like, she just. Because there was another layer to the work that she wasn't getting. Right. She consciously thought it was about the weight. It was about the physicality. It was about the look element. And that wasn't what it was about. It was about just understanding and internalizing you're good. It doesn't matter what you look like. The choice of worthiness, like, you have to just accept it and embrace that for yourself as a constant. It's not because you have followers. It's not because you have likes. It's not because you have the perfect body.
Do this for you.
It's for it's what makes you feel. Yeah. You just have to choose to just be like, this is who I am, and that's enough.
And that's enough, right?
God, what a sad era we're in.
And she doesn't run the marathon the first time because she gets stress fractures in her legs. Because she kept running, because she gained a little bit more weight. Oh, Jesus. And then she got like really obsessive, like, I need to keep it off, I need to keep it off, I need to keep it off. And then so she got the stress fractures and she couldn't run. And then she got kicked out of where she was living. I'm not going to say that scenario because it's actually really funny, and you should see the movie. So she goes to her sister's, and she reverts back to where she was at the beginning of the movie. And I'm like, thank God. Not because I was rooting for her to fail, but because this is the truth.
Truth, right. It's real. It's
People
how life
fail.
is. Yeah.
People dip. And when you fall, it hurts, it sucks, and you crumble to pieces, and it's a mess.
Right.
But we're all about Instagram and stories and only highlighting
Correct.
the
Yeah,
success
100%,
parts and when it's
100%.
good.
Nobody knows that part. Of
No
the
one
exam.
No one knows the
failures.
failures.
We
They know the
fucked up.
glitz, the glamour, 100%.
And she eventually, of course, but she does get back up. She does go to run that marathon. And for the end, when she actually goes to it, and again, it cuts back to the clip of her hesitating at the door. You can feel like, wow, you've come so long from the
Right.
moment of committing to one block.
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
about to run 26 miles.
That's
and
sick.
in
I
the
couldn't run 26 miles if I fucking
no, I die.
dreamed.
And then in the race, there, because her friends already ran it. They ran it the year before, so
Right.
she was doing it by herself.
Right.
And she, when they were like trying to like pull her out of the race because she was like hurt or something, she saw on the sidelines, and there's that friend who she met at that running club with his husband,
yeah,
and they're
yeah,
like,
yeah,
"Come
yeah.
on, let's go." She keeps going, and then there's the friend, her neighbor, and then there's the guy that she met,
Oh,
and
wow.
it's like, but what it was important to me about that was, again, back to the juxtaposition of the roommate. The roommate's obsessing over likes, followers, and all that stuff, the thousands. What she had was 3 people.
Was her roommate attractive?
Yes, Ramel, God damn it.
I'm just asking.
God.
There's
The-
nothing
that's
wrong
a
with that,
valid
Ron.
question.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's a valid
If
question.
she's trying to be an
Can we-
influencer, I'm just
can I-
asking if she's attractive because
Because then it's a waste of time.
Yeah, can I finish this? God damn.
Oh, yeah.
Shit. And then so she had 3 people on the sidelines that were rooting her on. And it's important to note that is enough.
right.
There's no such thing as 1,000,000 or 1,000 friends. It's just really paying attention to who actually has your best interest at heart.
correct.
And who's
Yes.
genuinely supporting
There's
you.
a lot of snakes out there.
There's a lot of snakes out there. And I don't even, actually, you know what? I don't even think snakes, because Brittany encounters them in the movie too. And I would even say it about her roommate. I don't think her roommate was a snake. I think her roommate was just a super insecure person.
Yeah.
Her look of it was different from Brittany's. That's why I
Right.
say they were juxtaposed. I think in a lot of ways they were in the same position.
yeah.
She was just, the way she handled it was Instagram and
Who played Brittany?
Jillian Bell.
Who's that?
You've seen her before.
The
She's
workaholics chick?
Oh, that chick.
Yeah.
The chick that's always like a crazy chick.
Yes.
in
Yes.
And she has played a lot of supporting characters. I don't know if this is her first lead role, but she nailed it.
How do you feel about that casting? Does she look like her?
You know, that's actually a really good question. There's certain moments in the movie, mannerisms wise, or just certain things where I'm like,
Because this is interesting because like, he actually knows the person.
I actually know, yeah. So there's certain moments in the movies where I'm like, oh yeah, that's like Brittany's wit, like that's her. And then there's there's a lot of moments where I could see how she was embodying
Right.
the actual Renaissance,
Right,
and
right,
that was very, very cool to see.
How accurate was the film? From
Well,
what you-
I actually don't know, and that's something I haven't talked to Brittany about.
like
And a part of me is almost scared to ask.
To
I
ask
don't.
about it,
I don't
right.
want to
Yeah.
ask and be like, and find out maybe a character wasn't actually a real person,
Right.
or
wow.
I. There's certain things I don't want to. I don't want to know, and I also don't want to be annoying because I'm sure 1,000,000 people have asked her
for
the
that.
questions.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
But I have expressed how much I appreciate the movie. Because it's really important to see. I think it's part of a conversation that no one wants to have. Because I think on some subconscious level, we all want to be, like you said, an influencer.
Everyone, yeah. I mean, that's
we all just want to win and never lose.
I mean, just literally look at Fire Festival.
yeah.
Everyone wanted to go to this festival because everyone thinks by going to this festival, we're influencers. You know,
Yeah.
we're these types of people.
We're not looking at, and I think it's
So regardless of how sketchy the scenario is, we're gonna still do this and spend a buck ton of money because we want to be influencers. We want to do whatever it takes to be a fucking influencer on social media, on Instagram, on Twitter.
right.
It's just like,
And it's just the understand. And I think on some level, maybe this is a little out there. I think people don't want to believe that just because you're alive, you're enough. I think
Deep.
for some people it's
let's
too.
get. Hold
it's-
on, I gotta hit him. I gotta hit him with this for that. That was deep.
That was very deep. That justified this. 100% justified.
I think on some level, striving for followers or for this or for that, I think it's kind of like the roommate Gretchen. It's kind of the easy way out to actually sit in your nasty, in your crap, in your trauma, in your bad experiences, in your regrets, in your shame.
Yep.
That in your guilt.
Yep.
That's a whole Pandora's box that people don't want to open it. And
Sad.
I really appreciate the movie for showing that's the work. That's what you have to do. Unfortunately, that's what you have to do. So Brittany Runs a Marathon. I give it I would give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. Okay.
4 out of 5.
Solid.
Not bad.
Solid.
Not bad.
Everyone should see it, and even though these are all hard lessons,
Yeah.
it is still a comedy. It's actually very funny.
Oh, is it?
Oh,
It's
great.
yeah.
Oh, it's a comedy?
It's a comedy. I'm sorry that I didn't
wow.
highlight that video, but it's funny.
comedy.
I mean,
Okay.
Jillian Bell's a funny
Oh, yeah,
actress.
because she's a funny girl.
She's a funny girl.
Yeah.
And it's fuck. I don't want to take too much time with it, but it's conversation about being the funny friend.
Oh, the funny
It
friend.
touches on that. I relate to that on a personal level, where being the funny friend has been your entire definition.
Right.
And
so
then
so nobody does because you don't have a lot of you don't get the respect that you think that you should get because you're supposed to be. Everyone just thinks you're a joke.
when you think you're a joke, right?
Yeah.
And there's kind of that, and how there's the voluntary choice to always be the funny person because you're trying to
Correct.
protect yourself.
Right.
And then it just in the seat, I'm like, this is hitting too close to home. And then I was like, well, oh shit. If you're not the funny friend, what's your value?
Oh.
Damn. ...
No, I don't know. It just. I think it's just one of those movies that's gonna make people, if they're really paying attention to it, they'll look beyond the running and losing weight part and the body image part. It's deeper than that. So, but it is funny. I promise it is. Watch it.
Okay.
4 out of 5.
Dope. I wish I had a little applause button because then I would do the applause for Brittany for running the marathon at some point. But so
Kind of made me want to try. I wouldn't make it. I'd make it to 3 blocks. And turn around.
yeah, I'm gonna definitely try to check it out. If I don't catch it in theaters, I'm definitely gonna support
On Amazon.
and
It'll be on
watch
Amazon
it and
Prime.
stream
Oh,
it.
well, perfect.
So if you don't go to see it in theaters, definitely stream it. Support.
I'm pretty sure it won
Brittany
the
and her
highest
story
award at
and all this.
Sundance.
Oh, really?
And it was the biggest purchase from a Sundance film ever
Super
by
dope.
Amazon
Good
Prime.
shit.
Yeah.
It too.
Oh, that's a turn. All right.
Yeah.
Quick turn there.
So we're gonna go. I mean, this is the third movie that we saw this week that
It Chapter 2.
deserves its own segment here for review. It 2 came out, I believe, this past week.
This
past weekend.
Yes, this past weekend it came out.
I think they hit like 90-something million.
91 million.
Yeah.
It's definitely the top 5 horror. It Chapter 1 had a higher box
didn't
office.
it didn't beat number
It
1.
didn't beat number
Right.
1, but it still makes the top 5 horror movie releases of all time.
Of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It 2, man. It was long.
it was long. That's
That's
the
so
thing.
It was
weird.
long.
It didn't feel
But no,
long
and-
to me.
And
then when you
I
said it was
agree-
3 hours, like what?
Yeah, I agree with you on that because there wasn't really any lull in the film.
Yeah,
there was enough shit going on.
I
that-
didn't feel the lull.
Yeah.
The only reason why I even noticed that it was long was because I had an hour left in
Right.
the movie. So I was just trying to get out of there because my head was killing me.
I was having a back cramp
And-
20 minutes in
Yeah,
that didn't
and-
go away until
Like
10
if,
minutes
if
left
you
in the
have
movie.
one ailment going on, while you're jumping into a 3-hour movie, fuck you.
Fuck yeah! I tried to
Sucks.
drown my sorrows in Diet Coke and
Yeah.
popcorn.
Yeah.
Like people try to make when I first saw the number 91 million, I was like,
Yeah.
oh no, it flopped. But then you have to remember the genre. It pertains to the horror genre.
Which they don't do big blockbuster shit.
They don't.
No,
Horror
this is
genre
not
movies don't
blockbuster
really.
genre, yeah.
So it Chapter 2.
So $100 million
exploded.
for a blockbuster movie typically is pretty
It's
decent,
huge.
yeah.
It makes top 5. I think the movie, as someone who has still not finished the 1,200-page book,
You're right there. You're right
but
there.
is at page 900.
Run the marathon.
Commit to a chapter a night.
Be like Brittany and
No.
finish the damn book.
Come
No,
Commit
you're
to
right. After watching the movie, I actually need to see how it actually pans out. But I'm
God knows
300.
I'm
I'm
not.
300 pages away from the end. And one thing, but I have gotten past. Remember that moment in the book, in the movie, where they all split up to find their item or something like that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the reason why I dropped this book for fucking months
Yeah.
was because that part in the book where they all split up
Yeah.
to find their goddamn tokens.
That's probably
Oh,
just
it
like a
was long.
chapter within
It's
themselves.
it takes like 200 pages, and I'm like,
Oh my God.
And I already don't in the book. I already didn't like the adult portions.
Right.
The charm and the allure of the story is
With
the kids. In the book, and it translated even into the film and even to the miniseries. The kids part was with Tim Curry's, isn't it?
Yeah, Tim Curry.
The kids part was like the
Kid from
stronger portion.
the guy from Home Alone 2,
Alone
Lost
2.
in New York.
A pizza.
Oh, that guy.
That guy.
That guy
He
was
was
it.
he was the original It.
He was the original It, yeah.
Oh, such respect for the man.
Yeah.
And so
Fantastic.
I was like, going into It Chapter 2, I was like, ugh, the adult portion's weak in the book. It was weak for me. It was weak for the miniseries. Let's see how this goes. And when I saw Mike say like, y'all have to split up and get your tokens, I'm like, God damn it.
And here we go.
Oh, fuck.
Yep.
Because like that was so rough to get through in the book, and so I'm like, yeah, you're all gonna split up, you're all gonna get scared, and then you're gonna meet up.
Right,
Be like,
right.
that was spooky. And I was like,
Although I did, because I remember the trailer, and I remember the first trailer
Jessica
that showed us
Chastain.
the Jessica Chastain with the grandma scene.
yeah,
Yeah.
And how creepy that was. I was like, wait a minute. So if this is how that was her scene for this, then I know the rest of
Yeah,
them are
it'd
going to
be
be
fucking
good.
crazy.
But here's the thing: Spanish word of the episode. This is where the cagada was.
Right, sure. The fuck up.
The fuck up.
I see.
When she actually emerged from the kitchen, and I was like, God, that is a CGI Nick
Yeah,
Jr.
what the fuck
cartoon.
did they do that for?
You just needed to put her in heavy prosthetics and
Correct.
makeup, and it would have been way more.
And
impactful.
that is I think the biggest complaint about the whole film that I have
Yes.
is they didn't need all that CGI.
Yes.
They could have just gotten away with just
Yeah.
prosthetics, makeup, and
it would
and, like
way
models.
more effective.
Oh,
Way more effective, because I'm like, wonder what my mind went to. First of all, the old lady in the background creeping me the fuck out.
yeah, that was creepy enough.
That was
like freaky.
awesome.
Freaking enough. There was one clip where literally it's just her looking at Jessica Chastain from the edge of the wall,
Yeah.
and I was fucking
Yeah,
scared.
Yes.
and it was creepy. It was very,
Yes.
very unsettling.
Unnerving. Yeah, it was
yeah.
unnerving.
And then my mind went to, because remember in the trailer we hear the
Yeah.
thumping.
Yeah.
So my mind went to, oh shit, we're about to get The Shining. We're gonna get the bathtub,
Happening,
bitch.
baby.
Like,
Yeah.
oh shit. And then out comes like Dora the Explorer's cracked out animated grandma.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
horrible.
It literally reminded me of when Mae Young took her top
Oh,
off
yeah,
during
yeah,
Raw.
yeah, correct.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just
exactly
too,
what it
it
reminded
was
me.
The
too
thing is, like-
cartoony. CGI is very CGI should
Very
be
delicate.
I
used.
had that same complaint in number 1, like when the kid,
art.
the art guy.
painting.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
painting. I that my mind goes to that.
Because,
and
like-
how different it was for Ben in the library with the Easter egg hunt with the headless thing
Yeah.
like
Right.
coming down the stairs. That was great.
That was
fantastic.
great.
'Cause
That was real. That was real. I think that was a person.
Horror
a person in
benefits
makeup.
from practical effects.
Exactly.
Horror
Exactly.
benefits from practical effects.
Yeah.
I think when you try to incorporate CGI into the horror element, and I know he's a transforming fucking clown.
Right.
It's kind of hard to do without that. But I'm like, no, give me Honey, I Shrunk the Kids and prosthetic.
Exactly,
thing.
exactly.
You can use the CGI to
Accent.
create the transformation,
it, yeah.
right?
Or to accent pieces. It's
Yeah,
supposed
sure.
to be the makeup, not
Yeah.
the face.
Like, if it himself is transforming from a one guy to like the scary witch or the fucking painting thing, or
Yeah.
use CGI to transform it, to do like the whole maneuver of it transforming, and then use the makeup and
really-
prosthetics
to make it real.
to make it a real
Real thing.
elongated freaky head.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like,
And
I don't
that's-
care the transition. I don't care how you do it, but make me see the real
Right.
part, like
And I think
the
that's
real monsters.
That's stuff that like Guillermo del Toro does, and why
Yeah.
a lot of his films are so like successful of
he uses
capturing these monsters that he loves so
Well,
much.
the practical effect element.
Yeah,
I mean,
It's-
look at
and it-
Pan's
and
Labyrinth.
and it
Pan's
fucking
Labyrinth
works.
is fucking incredible.
Fantastic.
Because of the fact that it's all real shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've got that guy in Pan's Labyrinth where it's the fucking hands and the eyeballs in the hands, and that's a real guy in that
dude,
fucking
yeah.
shit.
Beautiful.
Ugh.
Beautifully done.
Maybe it takes more hours, but fuck it. Put that bitch in
that
makeup.
right,
Yeah.
dude.
It works.
Pay these makeup people
To do it.
to do and pay the CGI people less.
Yeah. I mean,
Hire
with my
less
recent
CGI.
obsession with makeup tutorials, like that shit can
Hire-
work.
yeah,
It does
hire
some
less
shit.
CGI.
Yeah, That was the biggest complaint that I think I had with the film. But
I mean, we
I
say
completely
this.
agree.
We say this not being in the industry without really knowing why they chose
I know
to
someone's
do
probably
these
like
things.
biting a carrot, like fucking, like spitting it out.
Yeah.
Fucking rat.
Obviously,
podcast
there's
bitches.
probably reasons for this, so it's
No, no,
fine.
no.
This was just us lashing out
I
and
just,
talking shit.
for me, like, again, you're right. We're not in the industry. I just
but as
suspect it
fans,
was a
like,
creative choice. and I don't agree.
as fans, as the consumer, as people that are watching this and taking this in, we don't want to sit there and look at a monster that looks visibly fake.
Fake, yeah.
That
Well,
takes me
it
out.
takes me out of the element, exactly.
Takes you out. For example, when they're in the Chinese restaurant, huge scene in the book.
Oh yeah.
So I was like, yeah, there's the Chinese restaurant.
Right.
Let's fucking go. And then like the fortune cookies start popping, and it's just
I hated that.
I hated
Yeah,
that.
I thought that was so corny.
I hated that
so
fucking scene.
corny. That eyeball looks like it's out of a Goosebumps novel.
Yeah. When the stupid little like bug thing is just crawling
The
around. it's just
Batwing looks like a
get the fuck outta
Pokemon.
here
There's
with this
nothing
shit.
gross about this. There's
Yes.
nothing. Even the bug thing. Give me a prosthetic, fake, robotic bug that doesn't even move across the table. It just like stands there.
Just
and
stands there and
wiggles.
just like-
I'd appreciate that way much
Right.
more than that bullshit.
Just make it look like yucky, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Make it look yucky.
pussy and
Yeah. Make
glistening
it look
and
pussy and gross.
makes a little weird sound.
Yeah.
And right there, that's horror
yeah,
101
yeah,
right there, guys.
So my thing, for me, like the scariest moments in the movie, one was the bleachers. The little
yeah.
that
Oh,
was good.
true,
That was
true,
good.
It's like,
true.
hello.
Bleachers was good.
That why? Because why things are scary is because they touch on something real.
Yeah.
This is a predator under a bleacher trying to
Lure
kill a
this
little child.
girl, right?
And so there's a realism element to it. That's a guy in clown makeup. Looks like a fucked up clown. And also a little girl. This might be Darwinism at its finest. Like, why are
you going down there?
The-
Why are you believing this?
The
fucking creepy
minute,
clown
the
under
minute
stairs?
he grabs the firefly and goes, "Hello," I've been like, "Bye,
Yeah.
bye.
I'm gone.
We're not doing
and
this."
no, then he does the fake cry. You're like, oh my god.
People make
I'm like,
fun.
shut the fuck. I'm like, shut the fuck up, you clown. I'm
Yeah.
going back to my mom. Damn, she died.
She go.
But I was like, literally, my ears covered, humming like in my
Yeah,
because
I love that. I love the scene with the mirrors, the kid in the
The
mirrors.
mirrors thing
I was so I don't know if like I suspended belief for that moment, like because like after he eats the kid and the
Yeah.
blood splatters,
You
how
think
it
it's
blinks
fake.
out. I
Yeah.
think I was like, oh, is that an illusion? It's like no, that little kid's dead.
Yeah,
I am.
Now I
That
want to finish
scene-
the
that
book.
scene-
So I'm like, is there really a little kid that gets eaten at
That
your house?
that scene gave me anxiety because like literally those, like a House of Mirrors, especially if you panic at just a little bit in one of those things, you're fucked.
yeah.
Because
That's why I don't like to go into. I don't like to go into those
yeah.
things. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, how the fuck did that little kid get into a boxed off cube?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
Was
actually-
that it manipulating the mirrors?
Manipulating it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, that makes sense. When he just kept slamming his head, I was like,
Holy
Jesus,
dude, that was
God.
fucking crazy.
That was, and
Head
when he
trauma scared
smiled,
you.
when he smiled, the teeth, and I was like,
Well,
oh, he's gonna eat the kid. Okay,
he go.
he got the
go.
main. I
Yeah.
really thought during that whole scene, as he's slamming his head against the glass, like,
Yeah.
James McAvoy's gonna break and get the kid out of
Right,
there.
right,
Like it's
right,
gonna
right.
happen.
Yeah.
And then like he smiles. I'm like, oh, it's not that kind of movie. Like we forgot
I'll tell you what,
Georgie
the
got his
things-
arm ripped off on screen in
Yeah.
the first one.
I think the thing that I enjoyed the most was any scene with it himself.
Yeah.
I just think like
Were there less?
regardless of like what?
Were there less this time around?
I don't know. I can't tell.
Even though it was 3 hours long, I felt like
was-
we got less it.
I just like any scene that he was in, I'm like so
Riveted.
invested into
Exactly.
it, and I'm like because he does such a
His
fucking
performance.
incredible job as this disgusting clown.
That one scene when I guess it's with what the fuck's her name? Help me.
Jessica Chastain.
Yes, thank you. When she like sees him sitting like applying the makeup
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
And he
yeah.
does the thing where he scratches.
Yes.
And it's
that
like
was
he
good.
bleeds the way the makeup is. I was like, that was
good.
so nice.
Yes. See, and that's the
great.
use of CGI
To its finest.
to its finest.
Just
Because
to
what
accent
happens here?
something.
It
at the
accents
end,
practical things,
it's
yeah.
makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what they do is they use the CGI to help create the effect of the
he's
blood coming
legitimately-
out,
yeah.
cutting.
It should
But then
accent.
at the end of
yeah.
it, it's him. It's in makeup. Is a fake with the fake cuts.
Look, CGI should stand for contour. Like that's what it's supposed to just like accent
Yeah.
shit. It's not supposed to
Be the shit.
Be the shit. It's too
Yeah,
cheap.
I love the
That's why
visual
Green
of that.
Lantern
that,
tanked.
That was,
awesome.
that was sweet.
I think this movie was I think just as funny as the first one. Bill Hader did an incredible
Oh my God,
job.
Hader killed it.
well, speaking of Bill Hader, and I guess the translation of the young kids to the older kids, casting was perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
I
really got actors who embodied the kids.
every guy, every adult was spot on the kid.
The kid. And it made sense because Finn Wolfhard as Richie in the first one stole the show, so
Yeah.
it's only logical
That
that Bill
Hader does it.
Hader
Correct.
should steal it
Stole-
this time.
stole the
Actually,
show,
I have a
yeah.
question about. Did you guys notice any scenes with Richie as a kid that his
Glossy?
face didn't look? It
Yeah.
didn't
Yes,
look
yes.
real. Like
He
I
was
don't know if they had to do.
CGI'd.
All right, I was trying to figure
He
that out
was
because I didn't know.
CGI'd?
Yeah,
because they had to de-age him.
because he's so you see him in Stranger Things 3 or
Yeah,
like,
he's much
he's
older,
grown.
yeah.
But like when I was looking at him, like, did they have to do reshoots? Like, when did they shoot these kids' parts? I just assumed they just shot everything kind of afterward.
I think to
But-
me, I would have assumed that they would have filmed the kid scenes from part 2
During the first
during,
one.
During the first
at
one, or
least
like-
during
or
the
like-
first
like
one,
right afterwards, they're like-
knowing that like, well, we're gonna have to need a part 2.
Maybe
regardless.
some of them were. Maybe some of them were, but like the
Some of them look bad,
The
though.
bunker
he
scene.
looks pretty bad.
Yeah, the
in
bunk-
some of them. Like,
Finn
you can
Wolfhard in the
you can
bunker
tell.
scene, like where he looked like right out of Toy Story. I
Yeah,
was like, you look
yeah.
Pixar as fuck.
Yeah, that
It
was
did.
bad.
It didn't look good. I'm like, oh, you had a growth spurt during this,
Yeah,
didn't you? Because
exactly.
they're de-aging you.
All right, cool. So I wasn't the only one that saw that.
Yeah.
So real quick, we're gonna spoil this a little bit, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
Spoil the fuck out of it.
Because I don't really think it's really a crucial.
I already said
part
the
of
little
movie.
girl died under the
Oh, yeah,
bleachers.
True.
So you know how like it was saying like, oh, you have like a dirty little secret, and I'm going to expose it. Was it that he like had a crush on Eddie?
That he was gay.
He was all right. So
Yes.
yeah, so that's what
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he carves the R and the E into the thing.
yeah,
I just want to
right.
make sure that was
Which one's Eddie?
Eddie
kid-
was the
the
inhaler.
sick
the
kid,
inhaler
right?
kid, the sick kid.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, the guy who played adult version,
Spot
again,
on.
so
Again,
spot
fucking
on.
great.
Spot on.
So spot on it. The manner, everything. Which actually, to say, in my written review, I was like, maybe they were a little like too well interpreted because the adults and Eddie and Mike, like they both, I'm like, you seem like children.
Yeah.
Like you're very childish in how you're at. Even Richie to some degree, but that's kind of
Right.
the character of the comedian. It's kind of like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
never
yeah.
really grow up.
Right.
And the other characters, they were always kind of tortured old souls. Even
But
in
then
their
again,
youth, so-
you have to remember that they're also going back into this like they lived their lives and they were probably normal in their lives, but like going back to this town, going back to their old
Right, 'cause
all the shit that happened to them, like they're experiencing this whole thing and like this is a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Again, because obviously there'll be differences between book to movie. The movie presented it as they all went back to Derry because, like, we want to visit old friends, like it's coming back, and that only once Mike starts talking to them do that they remember
They
it.
start figuring shit
And
out.
that's not true. Even though it is in the book, it is still very foggy. They don't know why. They know that they're just really afraid, and it's kind of like. And
Right.
there's vague because in I don't think they did it in this movie, but for when Stanley kills himself in the bathtub, in the
Right.
book he writes in blood it,
Oh, no, they didn't do
okay.
that.
and they didn't do that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
No.
they didn't do that. So that's a difference, and also that's at the very beginning of the book,
Right.
So
Well,
it's
yeah.
weird watching it chapter 1, like seeing a little kid and be like, "You killing yourself."
Quickly, because we are running out of time. What are your thoughts on the first scene?
That's actually something I want. Yeah, I definitely
you-
wanted to touch on that before.
You mentioned this is
wrapped
how the
up.
book actually starts, right?
The book starts with Georgie's death because that's
Okay.
what I guess Stephen King was like. This is obviously the hook. And
No,
it
no,
is.
I'm saying the part 2.
Right, part
Yeah,
two.
no, yeah,
but
yeah.
The book, the first opening scene for the present day is that bridge scene with the gay couple.
Yes.
And remember, this book came out decades ago.
Right.
And my thing is, I on Twitter, people, and I have said on the podcast, I really hope they interpret that scene to the movie. Way more horrifying in the book. I know they're not comparable mediums,
Correct.
but still, they did it really well. And I'm so glad they did it. When I saw the two guys at the carnival, I was like,
Yeah.
fuck yes, let's
right.
get fucked up. And I was like, yes, fuck me up with this scene. Why? Because it is a killer fucking clown, and it is an entity, and it doesn't give a shit about our social bullshit. It just wants to feed. So it just woke up, and it's hungry. So if there's a bleeding body down a river,
of course,
yum.
Yeah. Believe that.
And the thing about the book that didn't make it into the movies at all, I'm so sorry, Mike, #Mike, was the race element that the book touches on.
Oh, okay.
The book
it's
is
just hard to incorporate.
It's hard. I know it's hard,
yeah.
which is why I'm saying, fuck you. There should have been a miniseries. The money's in it to make great effects for television. They should have redone a miniseries. I don't know why they did this movie route. But
they didn't even have to have CGI in this, so they could have done TV because it uses less CGI.
It could, and it would have done just fine. Give me a 12, 13 episode miniseries. It would have been great.
Dude, this shit on fucking like an HBO
fantastic
miniseries.
Legendary.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I don't think this was the right format for it, and that was something I wrote in my review that I feel this should have been at least a 3-part film. At the very least.
Of course.
But
6 parts miniseries.
Easy.
Chernobyl was, I think, 5 or 6 part miniseries. That's it. You see it once, that's it.
Done.
And it was 5 to 6 incredible episodes. That's all I needed.
But really quick, the reason why I was appreciative of it was because, yes, it's just a killer monster.
Yeah.
It doesn't discriminate. Our social bullshit doesn't pertain. So when people try to be like, oh, they did that thing, killing the gay guy in the river, I'm like, you mean when the monster ate it, or you mean when there was the hate crime on the bridge? Because what the book does so well is reminding us, there's a killer spiritual fear-eating entity that lives under Derry.
Right.
But we as humans are monsters as well.
Yeah.
What we do, because the race conversation is in the book, the homophobia conversation is in the book, the sexist conversation is the book, pedophilia is in the book.
The dad of the girl.
It's all there. Child abuse. It's all the fucked up things about humanity are in the book, and it's not doing that. That's us.
Yeah.
Right. So
which is a great.
Brilliant.
And so what I loved is, we just saw a brutal, and for me, I'll admit, watching the two guys getting beat up on the bridge, I was even though I knew the story and read the book, I did just say let's get fucked up. I did tense a little bit and close my eyes. I was this is actually kind of hard to see, but I was appreciative of it because we're also monsters.
Yeah, 100%.
So and I was and the detail of the balloons was for after he bites the guy under the arm.
Right.
I was it's the book. Fuck yes. And I want to be fair game. As a gay man, I want to be fair game in this shit. Eat us. Kill us. I want to be in that shit as well. I'm glad they made Richie gay for the movie. I'm we're in there too. You could have killed Richie too. I wouldn't have given a fuck. I just like that we be able to participate equally and fairly like anyone else.
Because that's how it is.
That was exploding asshole kiss.
I remember how I told you I cried?
Yeah.
You want to take a gander? Why?
When Richie's crying because they left Eddie's body?
No, I don't really give a fuck about that.
All right, well.
When the sick kid.
Now remember, it's me that we're talking about.
When
I have a fucked up perception of everything.
The kid with his mom.
What happened?
The kid with his mom locked up downstairs, whatever his name is.
Oh, no.
Eddie.
No, again, that just didn't bother me.
I don't know.
When it's dying...
Jesus.
I got so sad because I'm this motherfucking clown has feelings too. You guys are just bullying him into feeling like nothing.
Jesus.
I felt so sad for the clown. Legit sad for the clown.
You mean the clown that
just
in one bite made a bloodbath of a child?
Yeah.
He has feelings. It doesn't just because he's a monster doesn't mean he doesn't have
He
feelings.
doesn't have feelings. He's just scared of being killed because he wants to keep eating.
That was
people.
a funny way that he deflated. That was hilarious.
I was really upset about it.
I feel like it needed like a whoop sound effect.
The way that he kept look at oh god damn it.
Also,
God, you poor son of a bitch.
Again, I got to finish the book, but I was kind of annoyed. You guys do realize this is how you kind of beat him the first time, right?
Yeah. So you really couldn't remember this from the first time?
You couldn't have picked your brain just a little bit more. Remember, if you just stopped being afraid of the clown and insulted it.
Obviously, he runs off of fear. So stop being scared.
If you stop being afraid of it,
dumbass motherfuckers.
You'll win.
Yeah.
Eddie didn't have to. That's all y'all's fault.
He didn't deserve to go out that way. He could have at least had a bite out of Eddie's corpse. But whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
Whatever. I digress. Great film.
Great film. Scores.
4.
4.
Hard
wow.
4.
Hard 4 for Angelo.
For it, chapter 2?
Yeah.
No, 3. For me, it's a 3.
I'm going to go 3.5. Scary, yeah, at times.
Only 2 scenes for me that were really scary.
The CGI dropped at a full point.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that that's really what made... Because, like, the acting was great.
Yeah.
The acting was great. I mean, McAvoy... McAvoy, I feel like, doesn't get enough credit as an actor.
Right.
Because I've not seen an actor be as good as McAvoy at just instantly creating tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
So he just he looks the right way, and all of a sudden, boom, tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
He's just an incredible actor, no matter what he's doing. I mean, granted, Split enough was a reason that he should be, looked at as one of the best actors in the game.
It's just
the guy played 27 fucking roles.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things that annoyingly, despite how talented an actor is, are they bringing butts to the movie seat?
Which is bullshit because he's just so.
But that's what I'm saying. I think McAvoy, or even because I understand even with Jessica Chastain,
I feel like also he gets a bad rap because he's Xavier in X-Men.
That could be it.
No one saw that. I think all those careers are fine just because no one touched the movie.
Yeah, but the people that did see that are anybody who's an X-Men, this is all trash.
I actually didn't think that. I mean, for me, even X-Men, I think he still was a good Xavier. I respect
bad stigma to it.
And actually, McAvoy's fine. He's doing Mortal Instrument, not Mortal, the Golden Compass series on HBO.
Oh, he's doing that.
So his career is great.
That's a great signing for them.
Great transition. Get on television.
I give it a 3.5 for the movie. It was good.
Hopefully the supercut comes out, the 6-hour supercut.
Yeah, so we're you said they're doing a 6-hour supercut?
5+ hour supercut. It's gonna be the 2 movies will be
together,
re-edited,
right?
Shifting scenes around so it flows more like the book, and that the director wants to film additional scenes to tie them both together.
Oh, wow.
Okay, that should be good.
It'll be, and probably deleted scenes will be in there as well.
Oh, okay.
I'll commit, even though it'll probably be one project, I'll watch 30 minutes, press pause. That's an episode. I'll see another 30 minutes tomorrow.
True.
And do it that way.
Or I'll probably watch 3 hours at once.
Something like that too. Yeah.
I don't know, man. With enough beer and whiskey, I could probably get through the whole fucking thing.
I mean, I can pick a Sunday and I'm sitting there all day.
If it's raining and it's ass, why not?
There you go. Boom.
Yeah, exactly.
The rain element, huge.
We had some other stuff to talk about, but I'm going to push it off to next week.
Oh.
Because I don't think that it's anything that needs to be talked about right now.
Wow, cliffhanger action. There's some good stuff there.
But definitely come back next week because we got some stuff. It's Joker related, so please come back because...
that's it. Keep them wanting more.
Yeah. All right, cool.
And don't forget to go get your AMC Stubs pass and enjoy all the films.
Pay us, AMC.
Please pay us.
Please,
Bye.
I need this. Bye. I got kids.